Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you in it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
It's week 14 and the Kansas City Chiefs are back home at Arrowhead for a must-win matchup against the Houston Texans. The Chiefs come in as 4.5-point favorites, and with the playoff race heating up, every drive, every snap, and every big play matters. And you know, this offense is ready to make our tonsils tickle.
Tickle your tonsils.
FanDuel has every angle covered, from Mahomes' passing yards to Kelce's receptions to Kareem Hunt's rushing yards. Want even more action? Build your own same-game parlay and ride with Chiefs Kingdom all Sunday long, with lightning-fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Mahomes sidearm throw. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we break down our best 5-leg same-game parlay of the week, plus JD's 10 Keys to Victory, laying out exactly how the Chiefs can handle business at Arrowhead and keep their playoff push alive. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. Chiefs, Texans, must-win football in December, and this one's going to make your tonsils tickle.
Tickle your tonsils.
Attention all sports bettors. Big news, Chiefs Kingdom. Sports betting is finally going live in Missouri on December 1st. So we've partnered with bookies.com to bring you all the best sportsbook promos and sign-up offers in one place. Head over to bookies.com/chiefconcerns. The link is in the description below to check out all the offers from the top sports books in your area and pre-register today. You can lock in those bonuses now, even before betting officially starts on December 1st. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Tight End on your Monday evening. I am Marcus Dash, fresh off the holiday weekend. And while it did start kind of rough for our Chiefs, I feel pretty good as of right now on this Monday, ready to get this game behind us. But it feels like it's been an eternity since the last time we talked to you guys. But I hope everyone is ready for this week in this episode of Monday Morning Tight End with former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, who's going to give us a whole breakdown of grades from what we saw last week and close the book on that as we head to Houston, where now it's officially must-win territory if we want to see our team have a chance to get into the playoffs. Like I read earlier, if the Chiefs win the next the remaining 5 games, we will have a 98% chance of making the playoffs. So it's that time. So guys, I don't know if you guys saw that, but today's December 1st, 2025. Today's the first official day for sports betting in Missouri. So all of our Missouri peeps, go to FanDuel and place your wagers and place your wagers and get in the Chiefs. Maybe I think right now you get a good value on the Chiefs making the playoffs right now. So go on and do that if you want to put your money where your mouth is and you still believe in this team like I do, and I know JD still believes in the squad. But yeah, and of course our show is sponsored by FanDuel. You gotta love FanDuel. They always offer some good bonuses and stuff. And yeah, right now you can get in on the Chiefs to make the playoffs. I already made a lot of my preseason bets as far as winning, the AFC. So I'm pretty tapped out on Chief bets, but nonetheless, first bet in Missouri. Why not have some fun with it? I just want to make a few call outs before we get to the chat and before we get to obviously the show when JD comes on here. Let's see. So we got our holiday giveaway still going on right now. Our holiday giveaway here, Chief Concerns Christmas. And all you got to do is leave a review and subscribe to the channel, which you guys are already doing that. If you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do. And all you got to do is go to the Apple podcast. This link is in the description below. Leave a review and leave your YouTube handle. We had a new person leave a review, and I'm going to get to that in a second. No YouTube handle there. So whoever RN Texas is, please DM or write me an email, chiefconcerns@yahoo.com, and I can get your information, your address, so I can send you some goodies for the holidays for your amazing review. I'm going to put that up right now so you guys can take a look at who this person is, who this fantastic person is. I don't know who RN Texas is, but RN Texas, I'm a big fan. Let's post this up right here. So RN Texas writes, let's get the big scrim. All right, Texas writes, I freaking love this podcast. I don't always get to watch the live stream, so I appreciate I can listen to it when driving to and from work or at the gym. I always look forward to hearing their analysis and breaking down the game, whether it was a win or a loss. If you are a Chiefs fan, this podcast is a must. It's a cool place where we can all get together as fans and share our opinions and the love for the Chiefs, even for a placed event, which recently it's been more of a placed event, but we still love you guys. Whereas content creators have their opinions, it's a plus to hear Jason Dunn's perspective, especially coming from someone who played professionally and a former Chief. He, Marcus, and Tasia are a spot on every episode. Thanks, guys, for the awesome content. I always look forward to listening. So that is from Texas RN. Texas RN, send us your address to chiefconcerns@yahoo.com. We can get your goodies out. Appreciate the review. And guys, we're still doing this right now. It's going to go on through the holidays. And I will send stuff out to whoever sends a review. And, and put your name there, and we'll get you some goodies. Make the playoffs. I'm placing a bet on winning the Super Bowl. You know what, G-Pick? That's why you're special. That's why you're a special guy, man. You know, JD and I like seeing that. We like that you're still all in on the squad. And I hope, and I know most of you guys are. Some people are ready for the draft, but nonetheless. Chiefs guy 7236. I heard Honey Badger is back. Well, no, from what I read online, that he is not back right now. So that is what I read online. I heard he said he would be interested in coming back to Kansas City because we need help on the back end. But that is him coming back as of right now. No. Kay Adams, I think, tweeted about an hour ago saying he left the building. So don't know what that means, but sounds like he's not coming back. But he offered his services, so he left the feeler out there. We'll see if anything happens with that. But as of right now, he's not back. So no, he offered his services is what the main story was today. So yeah. Andre Chenault, Chiefs guy. I watched his interview with Kay Adams today. He said he would come back to help if his friends, if they asked him, and that's true. So that is what the story is as of right now. So yeah. All righty. I think we're getting our guy in here. Our guy Jason Dunn is coming in here right now. There he is. What's up, JD?
Yeah, what is up? What's going down, Marcus?
How was your holiday weekend, man?
Holiday weekend was wonderful. I had a great time, man, with the family, and it was just a good weekend. Had a lot of things going on, and so it's always good when you got some good vittles in you, and got good family and friends that come over to your aid, catching up with everybody. So it was a very festive holiday, of course, with the loved ones and, like I said, friends. And so got to watch some good football too, some really good football on just this whole weekend. So it sat back, and it was strange, obviously, because the Chiefs weren't playing. I'm just like, but some really good games. Some really good games I was able to catch up with on Sunday and of course Monday too. So good stuff, brother. Good stuff. Yeah,
it might have been one of the best weekends of football of the season so far. And this upcoming week, if you look at the slate of games, a lot of good ones starting from Thursday. You know, Detroit plays the Cowboys on Thursday night. We play the Texans on Sunday night. So there's a lot of good games this week. So yeah, the NFL is doing us right at the end of the year here this year. JD, are you there? I think we might have lost him. I think we lost him. Can you guys hear me? Just want to check in the chat, see if I'm frozen or if JD's frozen.
I think it was me.
Oh, okay.
So doing the robot. I was seeing my looking like Max Headroom. You know who that is? You know who Max Headroom is?
He was a bit on Conan O'Brien's show back in the day.
I guess he was on MTV, but I guess he might have been on Conan O'Brien too. I think I don't. No, I don't watch Conan O'Brien that much, but I know MTV he was doing that. He'll speak like that. Max Headroom. I know some of these people in here know who Max Headroom is. What's going on, Andrea? GG Pick, Mike Crown, Stowaki, Mike K.R. Chris Stowaki. Chris Stowak. Is that how you say it?
Christowiak.
Christowiak.
So yeah, that's what I think at least. I don't know.
All right, Christowiak could be 142. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you out here, man. MJ,
We'll call him Coach K, JD.
Coach K. Here we go. Get it. We'll have some good grades tonight. Chief Guy 7236 is here in the house. Optimistic James, what up with you, Optimistic James? Justin the Way, 2385. Good to see people here. Linda Hunter's here. Will is in the house. Michael Kittle. The folks is in, man. The folks is about time. What's going on? Joe is here. So,
yeah, I also want to welcome a lot of new followers and subscribers. We actually got a lot of new subscribers on Thursday when we did our show live stream. And from what I know, we were one of the few content creators that actually had a live stream post-game show after the game. And that's like even national people who cover all NFL. We were one of the few to have a live show after the game on Thursday, be it after a loss, but still we were able to get a lot of new viewers and subscribers to the channel. So if you are watching our Monday grade show for the first time, welcome to Chief Concerns. Welcome to the family.
Welcome, Chief Concerns and the family, like Marcus said. So good to have y'all. Good to see y'all. It's a wonderful time. Y'all going to really enjoy yourself over here. We do it right. I think me and Marcus, we go out here, man. We give you everything that you need, that you want. And then even then some stuff that you didn't even know that you needed. We got it for you. Okay. And so we'll provide those things for them. Marcus give you the commentary, the nice hair and all of those things and the good smile. See right there, see how it brightens up the day? Just old JD, I'll give you a little bit of, some of the old school stuff, but some of the coaching aspects, some analysis, and talk about the games, give you a little bit of peek behind the curtain, if you will. So always good time, man. Always good time, brother. So yeah.
Always. It feels like it's been an eternity. I know we last saw each other Thursday night. It feels like it's been an eternity because usually we have a Friday show. We usually have a Sunday show. But since we played early this week, we were able to get a kind of a little mini bye week, JD. The players get a little mini bye, and we also get a little mini bye.
Yeah. I think everybody chilled out, man. It was good. Everybody had a nice little – that's what I was saying, man. I had a chance to actually enjoy, the family and stuff. Oh, Mike, I appreciate it, brother. My hairdo, I got me a little – something like that. My sweetie got to twist me up, man. I got to get my dreads all twisted up real nice, but
there you go.
Thank you. As my nephew said, he said, man, I don't have a whole lot left. I said, man, I got a whole lot still here now. I got a whole lot now. Shoot.
But it still looks like the player card I have, your old Chiefs profile photos. That looks the same.
Marcus, that's why I love you, man, for your compliments. Thank you so much
Always,
for that.
Brother. Always, brother. So we've gotten some questions here. I think some of our new people, like on our YouTube channel, were asking when are we going to do our grade show. We're going to do a grade show, and I said tonight at 8:15. I think Mike Christowiak was one of the ones that actually asked about it, and he made a comment that he said that we are too easy. He looked at our past grade shows. He said we were too easy on the play calling this year, and Andy Reid. So. I don't think we have it. I mean, if you watch our shows, you can see that JD is not easy on anybody. Maybe I was a little bit easy last week with the grade show. Although maybe if you look back at it, JD, you and I actually had a lot of similar grades. I want to say about 50 to 60% of the grades were similar from what you had to what I had.
Okay.
And I think in some respects I was a little bit more lenient with some of the groups, but of course, I was a substitute teacher trying to give, trying to make nice with the students, right? You're locked in.
Did an amazing job, brother. Did an amazing job.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, you're a tenured professor. I was just an adjunct professor just coming in for the day.
Yeah, come in and put your foot down quick, Marcus. You know what I mean? Like, hey, shoot, gotta be quiet. I'm Mr. Dash. Will be no questions. If you need anything, water, whatever, don't even ask. Okay? Y'all sit back and chill. Y'all make my day easy. Y'all's will be too. So,
gonna put on a movie and you guys be quiet and just sit there.
Is that what type of? Would you be like that type of guy? Would you, substitute teacher come in and you just like, hey man, like, look, we're gonna make it an easy day.
100%. 100%. I would put on a movie. Hey guys, just relax. You can play with your phones and do whatever. Just be quiet and relax, and I'm gonna have a movie on. All right, don't make life hard on me. I'll make life hard on you. That's it.
I hear you.
But JD, so you mentioned the football this weekend. Football was great this weekend. It seemed like for a lot of the weeks this year, kind of the games were a lot of lopsided games this year, and it feels like over the last few weeks you're starting to see kind of the slate get better, where all these games are kind of going down the wire. This weekend was a great week for us football. All the games on Thursday and Friday, and then yesterday as well. And then even to the late night game right now, the Commanders almost pulled off the huge upset last night. And then and this coming week, right off the bat, we have Dallas and Lions. It's a huge game for both those teams on Thursday. And then Sunday night, our game against the Texans. So it's a lot. There's a lot of good games this weekend.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, it was a great game to watch last night. I mean, me and my son was watching it, man. We were just on the floor like, oh my gosh, can you believe this? But they should have won the game, man. I was pushing for them. And the more I was sitting there just watching, I'm like, man, I cannot stand Denver. I cannot stand these jokers.
I know.
So, but they're pulling it out. That's what they're doing. They're pulling it out. And so I for us watching what we were doing like that last year and the previous year before then, but we kind of had somewhat of a formula, Marcus. And the problem with it this year has been still one-score games that we've been losing, right? And I keep trying to tell people we don't suck. We're not a sucky team. We're just inconsistent. Pat has said so. I mean, and I agree with him. I was like, well, that's what I was saying. We have squandered chance after chance and opportunity after opportunity. And the difference is because, last year we was able to get over it. Okay. I would say we were a less talented team last year. But what we did is we stretched out our potential to its capability. I mean, all the way to where we could stretch it out to be, right? And this year, because there's such a talented team, that's why it's so disappointing when we're not doing so well. Because it's like, man, we're a much better team than we were last year. We are. But we are squandering our chances and opportunities because we're not as consistent as we should be. And it shows in the film. When I look at it, the grading, I'm just like, oh man, look at that. And so that's the difference. A much talented team, better talented team than it was last year, but squandering our chances and opportunities this year. So that's the difference, man. That's where we at.
Yeah, I mean, I know for the long time, I remember last year we were winning ugly, but we were winning, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the wins versus the losses. And people say, I want to get back to 2018 Chiefs. Okay, well, offensively, in some ways, we have gotten back to that. I mean, look, we lost a game last week, and you were to tell me that we lost a game where Pat threw for 250 yards and 4 touchdowns. I would tell you you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. We definitely won that game. But no, it's a game we lost. And, we haven't had a game where I guess we've had a few games where, Lions game was a good example. Offense and defense both came to play that day. And Ravens game as well. But, if you look two of our losses, the Jacksonville game specifically, and then this last game Thursday, those are 2 games where offense came to play, defense not so much, right? I mean, and so it's just we haven't had consistent play each week of both sides of the ball bringing it. And I'll say this too. I think we've dogged special teams, and I'm curious to hear what your grade is this week. But I thought special teams actually came to play this week. I mean, Ariza had 3 punts inside the 5, and they were still able to drive it down the field on us. I mean, that's not on the special teams. Rashard Smith was able to get a big return. We stalled out, go 3 and out right there. So it's putting it all together. And I think Andy said it, and Pat kind of said it in his post game presser, that we could beat anybody, but also at the same time we can lose to anybody. And that's what you saw yesterday, right? Carolina beat the Rams, and everyone was talking about the Rams being the Super Bowl champs. Bears beat the Eagles. Everyone was talking about the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl. So, that's kind of where you're seeing around the league. It's not just the Chiefs. It's anybody. And it's always been like that any given Sunday, but even more so right now, you're starting to see the parity, and a lot of parity in this league. Every team from Carolina to Arizona to Chicago, everyone's can beat you, man. And we're unlucky this year. We're losing these one-score games for the most part.
And it is. That's all around the league. You can just tell that there has been somewhat of a shift, that these teams that have been putting in and year out, that's been terrible, it's been bad, all of a sudden you start seeing a little bit of change. Things have happened differently. Like, come on, look at Chicago. I never thought Chicago would be where they are. Carolina's doing a much better job, Baker Mayfield is actually doing a pretty decent job. You know what I'm saying? Like, things you don't expect, and here it is.
You got to give him a shot.
Don't know. Marcus is a huge Baker Mayfield fan. But you see these teams, starting to display a little bit more of a challenging, type of team. That's who they are. These organizations are saying, hey, we're going to change some things up and we're going to do some things different. We're going to try to change the culture, and hopefully these things will work out for the best. And so that's no different right now that we see in our conference, right? And so when we sit in our conference, our division, we're looking at teams now that here's the Broncos, right? Now we're starting to see the Jaguars. It's like, who's these guys, right? Indianapolis is coming through, and I was like, okay, we need to start writing the ship, okay? Because these jokers right here shouldn't be on top like they should be. And I'm just kind of shocked by it. But they got some new coaches, got some new life breathed into the organization, and that's what's expected. I actually got a quote, man. I was speaking to this really wise person, and this person gave me this quote. We were just talking to him. And they said offensively, sometimes when you feel like you're the reigning champions, you don't feel like you have to change anything. But people are studying to see how to beat you. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Wise words. You know where it was from? It was from Coach Susan Figueroa Dunn.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was like, that's good stuff right there, babe. She's like, I just think, I don't know. I'm like, you know exactly what you're saying. We have said this over and over again, Marcus, and I always go to this, right? The chief standard becomes the standard. And everybody that comes into this league, when they come into this season, they're sitting there saying, we have to get to this standard. The team that we have to beat is the Kansas City Chiefs. That's why we are always and constantly the ones on everybody's schedule that everybody's look like, we got to win this game. Everybody, we know we're going to get everybody's best. We know that. Why? Because our standard has already been set. We are the barometer. We have been the best over the past 7 years in the NFL. No disputing that whatsoever. And the frustrating part is because when we see such a talented team like it is right now, and there is some struggle in it, then it's very disappointing. It's hard to deal with. But guess what? Even as fans, it's like, yo, shoot, y'all in the best era of Chiefs football that has ever been. And people are so privileged to watch what they've been watching that they just want everything to be perfect, and it's not. Shoot, these things happen, okay? I still are on board with the Chiefs fully, and I hope other people are too. So we've heard firing of Andy Reid and, oh my gosh, Travis Kelce's too old, and we need to get rid of all the running back room and all. No, we've heard everything. Oh, Veach needs to go. We've heard it all. We have heard it all here, okay? Because the Chiefs are sitting where they are sitting right now in their record. But context does matter. We're sitting there saying, hey, every game that we lost has been one-score games. Nobody has just decimated and beat us. That has not happened. Now, we've done that to other teams. We've seen a couple teams packing at home where they didn't have a chance. They look like they didn't get off the plane. Usually ours is self-inflicted. Shoot ourselves in the foot. Penalties always is one that always kills us on drives that puts us out of field goal range and something like that where we just not in a position to score. And it hurts us. And some of those things are just hard to get over anyway. You know what I mean? In the course of a game, it's always hard when penalties are the ones that are just killing you. And you just got to dig yourself out of a hole. That's where we've been. That's where we found ourselves this year. That's where we've been. So got to do a much better job.
And look, last five games, and I saw a statistic earlier that Chiefs go 5-0 next 5 games, which Andy Reid pretty much said today that he feels as strongly as ever. And he made a quote about tickling, tickle our tonsils the last. He said we're going to tickle your tonsils the last 5 games of the season here, and I don't know what that means.
Who said that?
Andy Reid said that.
Okay.
Every play we're going to be tickling your tonsils is what he said. That has a lot of meanings to it, or it could have just like every play call is going to be I don't really know, but I've never heard of such a quote there before. But it pretty much exuded a lot of confidence in this team and how we can go over the next 5 games, and kind of like what you said last week. And if you look at the 5 games, we were a pretty good home team this year. I think we've only lost 1 home game. It was against the Eagles, but we have 3 home games left: Texans, Chargers, Broncos. I think we go 3-0 in those games, and I think if we beat the Texans this week, it's a hot team right now. We got a banged up offensive line, and they have a really good pass rush. I think number 1 pass rush in the league, or number 2 behind the Broncos. That's a team. If we can get past them, I think we can go 5-0 because we play at Tennessee, we play at Vegas. Pat owns Vegas at Vegas, and Tennessee is a disaster over there. I think we can go. I think we actually can make a legitimate case to go 5-0. But yeah, the percentages are 98% of the Chiefs make the playoffs if we go 5-0. And I think you were at the game on Thursday. You said it. I think we can go 5-0. So, have you wavered at all since Thursday night?
No, come on, man. Steady, baby. Look, steady. That's where I'm at. Steady. Some jokers out there shaking the Don Knotts. It's like, like, hey, man, like bow yourself up. That's what you need to do. But not Marcus. Look, I'd say we got the talent in the room. We got the guys that's able to do it. If it was anybody else, any other team out here, I wouldn't have that much confidence. But with our guys, shoot, I'm good. When I watch us play, I see the talent. I see what we have. I think everybody does. So that's why it's even more disappointing. Because we are sitting, where we are. So that's the thing about it. It's just like, oh, man, like, dang, we're a much better team than this. Yes, we are. But also we are a very faulty team, very inconsistent team. Is it undisciplined? I don't know. This last game, and we'll talk about it, there was a lot of calls. It was really, suspect. Okay. And I said this. I said, some of the, pass interference calls, I think could have went either way. Probably shouldn't even been called. And there's a lot of, ambiguity. It's like, okay, is this something that is consistent? I don't see it. Sometimes you wonder, what are they seeing? Certain crews are going to call things a particular way. They will. And that's just some of the things you got to deal with. But I do believe this game, it did affect us where we had to get aggressive with the wide receivers, and it cost us. Start throwing the flags. But what I did see in the game, I seen a lot of push off from CeeDee Lamb. See a lot of push off from Pickens. But those guys are 2 good football players, man. CeeDee Lamb he's a hard cover. That joker he is good. But that joker is also crafty. That's what makes him so good, because he is crafty with the little push off, knowing how to get out of the break. Tripping it up. He had his hands full this game. He had his hands full, man. I ain't never seen that joker struggle, but he struggled this game. That's for daggone sure. Him and Jalen both. So,
McDuffie gave up the most he's ever given up in this season in the first quarter of that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Frustrated. Mr. Furley, yeah. So, and when you have such talented guys on the outside like that, you do need for a few calls to go your way. You just do. And it didn't seem like we got any. Seemed they didn't let up at all on any of those things.
And I watched like the Broncos game, for example. You know, we talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I know Surtain is Surtain, but I saw Surtain mugging Terry McLaurin last night. No call. No call whatsoever. Nothing. Like, there was one play, I think it was Treylon Burks, our guy Treylon Burks. He literally has hand wrapped around his neck before the ball even got to him, like a hitch route. I'm like, no call there? I mean, what? Like, if that was us, they probably would have called it on McDuffie. But, like, I mean, unreal that, like, they let it go. And I get it's not a new thing, right? If you're deemed as the number one guy in the league, they're going to let you get away with bloody murder, essentially, at least on the cornerback spot. But, yeah, I just thought I watched a lot of games this yesterday, and I saw a lot of cornerbacks very handsy and no call whatsoever. And, you know, and like Tasia and I said before you came on Thursday, we weren't blaming the refs at all. We lost that game in a lot of other ways. It's just, you know, you can't talk about the game and not critique the ref situation in that game, because, like you said, they probably shouldn't have called half those things, because McDuffie was jockeying for position as much as Lamb was, and so, like, in that situation, don't call it. And I think even Romo was kind of disgusted some of the calls, and Romo really hasn't had her back at all this year when it came to any flags. He didn't like the Worthy pass interference play, and he didn't like some of those DPIs they called on us, and that was his team we were playing against.
Right, and look, you know, G Pick is sitting there saying, you know, we don't want to become like that, complain about the refs. I get it, but also too, like, there's certain things you do see that you do have to complain about, and if you wonder if they're calling things consistently, and that's what I just didn't see. So I had a problem, an issue with that. We just got to call it what it is. But hey, we don't put what we're doing is, we're not saying that the refs lost the game for us. Okay, offense, we got to score more points. Bottom line, that's what ends up happening. You know what we need to do. Defense, we just got to be able to stop them. Some of those calls do put them in a position, to score, and so I think that is something that we do have to, contend with. We definitely have to call it out. But
yeah, 100%. I mean, because like I got a text with Thickpin on Thursday right after the game. His text was, "Stop the slant, end of rant." I mean, like, again, like, on some of the plays they were calling us, those were hitch routes to the sticks, and they were just like pushing off and getting there, or out routes. But like at the end of the day, like, they were just running inside. They were getting inside position on us all day long, and we couldn't do anything about it. And when you can't get home on the quarterback, like, I mean, not much you can do, and that has nothing to do with the refs. We can't get to the quarterback. That's got nothing to do with the refs. And you can't stop an inside move or a slant route. Then that has nothing to do with whoever the heck the refs. It can be anybody. Doesn't matter.
Right. Shoot, yeah. I mean, you just gotta be happy inside. You have to. And the thing is, I was talking to my other boys. I'm like, yo, I said, them jokers and wide receivers down in Dallas are putting on a slant clinic. Especially Pickens down there, and he set it up. Supposed to be heavy inside. You ain't supposed to lose that battle. You're supposed to be right there, riding all the way through, be right in his hip pocket. But we was given space, and I think, like I said before, that space had to tend with what was being called. But I think we need to be a little bit more aggressive on our guys, from the outside. So that was one of one of the points I had written down for my defensive. For my secondary, for our DBs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and one thing too, like, because after the game, Mertage was a big Noel Williams fan going into the draft, and one of the things he liked about him was he was a physical cornerback at the press, and like, that was a game we barely saw him. Like, I think I saw him in the first quarter, and I don't think I saw him after that. He was very limited snaps on Thursday, but like, that's a game, and that's too. It's like when you're getting kind of dominated, like we were getting dominated on those moves. They put him in there. Let's see what we got. Because at this point, it's like we're getting gashed by Pickens or Lamb. They're going back and forth, tit for tat on us all game. Like, put him in there, see what we got with him. I mean, because at that point, it's like we need to figure out something, and we couldn't. And we never found that answer.
For a guy that hadn't really got, I mean, he's gotten some looks come in. That's a tall task for a young guy like that, man. I mean, you're talking about two premier wide receivers. I mean, Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. And the only thing is, because if you miss him, them suckers are by you.
Yeah.
They're by you. I mean, they had Trent McDuffie, juking him, making him look silly, making him look like a rookie. And so You got Noah Williams. He's like, hey, man, we don't know if you're quite ready for that level. We got to level up before you get there, brother, to get to that point. But I like young guys. I'm not saying that Noah Williams couldn't necessarily do it.
Right.
But I don't think you want to do it in a game like this that was, as pivotal as it was, for the win.
Yeah, and I guess I'd say from the standpoint of like first, because he played in the first quarter, and we didn't see him in the second. We didn't see him much after the first quarter, but like by the fourth quarter, when we had been kind of getting dominated by those plays, like all right, like let's see what the young bucks got, like because everything else we've kind of threw at them, give him a few more reps out there to see if he can earn his stripes a little bit. Yeah, like kind of what Amda says here. Yeah, let Noah Williams earn his stripes. He can't do any worse. Yeah, because I guess at that point for me was like. I mean, we're kind of getting gash, and like I don't know how much worse you could get from what we were seeing. Because like the thing too is like they were running that inside move and that slant, and like he was giving Pickers kind of giving that little outside head shake. Come on, Watson, he ain't going outside. Don't even play that outside. He's going right back inside, man. But yeah, it was a tough watch, and to also without what we've been talking about since the offseason. If 95 can't get back there, like somebody else has got to step up, and like we're continuously not seeing that. I believe we are bottom 4 in the league in sacks with like 13 or 14. I mean, at week 14 of the season, we have 14 sacks. It's rough.
It's rough. DeMonte Green makes a very valid point right here. Then everybody would blame him later or the coaching staff for putting him out there. That's true. So if he put him out there, he definitely could have did worse. Might not have been as close as it was. And so the other guys, you'll say, hey, look, we'll deal with the big money guys out here, okay? The guys that have earned to be out there, as opposed to it would be no reason to take out a Jalen Watson or McDuffie for, Noah Williams, just it wouldn't be. I'd question it like, hey man, what are we doing? Don't throw young Buck out there so to be salivating. I'll pick my shoot. I can't. Oh man, they put the young guy out here. Oh man, come on. They tapping their head right now. Put up top, let's go. So
Otto Brown says last season chief concerns tweeted, where are the sacks? How is this an issue 2 years in a row?
From what I just said, I'm the Brown. What my wife had said, sometimes we get so comfortable in, where we have been champions and doing things a particular way that we were like, okay, we're fine with what we're doing. It's worked. And so why should we change it? And we should have been changing to upgrade a little bit more than what we did. There's really some disappointments for a couple of guys. That is kind of standing out for me. George Karlaftis, man, I haven't seen him show up, man, in the last couple of games. And so when I'm watching some of the things, I'm looking for him to generate some pressure. Generate some pressure. That's what we're looking for. We need to have some of these guys. These big name guys we have. We done paid him a good penny. Right? A pretty penny. And so George is a solid guy, no doubt about it, but we need to see more. We need to see more. I think Menahu has been doing a good job trying to generate the things he's been doing. We knew he was coming off an injury. So he's coming in, he's doing his thing, it's kind of up and down, but those other he comes in and he does. I watched him play, and he's working hard. He's putting the work in. But Marcus, it still boils down to, man, we got to get back there, man, besides Chris Jones, seriously, to create some noise and create some havoc. And so we're just not seeing it. Young fella played well. Ashton Gelati played a daggone good game. Great against the run. I want to see him stand up and let him do how he stood up in college, at Louisville, to come off that edge. And so it might be a little bit different where he's putting his hand in the dirt and coming off. And so sometimes we just need to have him send him off from the edge, see what he can do. And I know we're doing some different things, man, to just try to get, figure some things out. But we're at a point now that experiment's over. Like we need to be on point with everything that's going on. So I don't know why we just really didn't address the pass rush in itself. of just getting a guy here. You know, when you look at, Jadeveon Clowney, when they say Clown, I'm like,
I know. That's all I thought about during that game. Because I mean, he's done well this year, but all I thought about during that game was like, man, that's what JD and I were talking about, like signing him for a 1-year deal. And like,
yeah, the only thing I told you about him, man, he gonna hit you over the head. I don't even know what he signed. What did he sign for with you?
Well, it wasn't a lot.
It wasn't.
No, it was definitely up Veach's budget for sure. I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, just shoot, Pro, man, we just didn't have it.
It was a 1-year contract worth up to $6 million, but the base was $3.5 million. So it was definitely like in our ballpark. Yeah.
Jeez.
Jerry, I'll tell you what, Jerry, and people want to dog him for the Parsons stuff, but like the moves he made, man, like he really he was able to get marginal pass rush with Clowney from Parsons. Obviously, a big drop off there, but like not bad. But then you end up trading. You have an extra first round pick. You end up getting Quinn Williams to shore up that tackle spot, and then and Clark from Green Bay in that Parsons deal as well. So he was able to really do a good job of that defensive front.
He won in that one. Yeah, that is not even no question about it. He won in that trade deal for sure. So, and then he didn't have to pay Parsons either. So.
We got a few super chats here. We'll get to those, and then we'll get to our last year. I was bad with Marcus saying Klein was washed. I was so wrong. Yeah, we wanted him last year too. I mean, he signed multiple 1-year deals.
That's what he's been doing, man. He's been going around the league, man, like a mercenary. Just, hey, who needs me?
Yeah. You need a pass rusher. You need a pass rusher. You need a pass rusher. Who's going to pay me the most? We got a super chat here from Baca1105. Very concerned about the O-line on Sunday. What can we do to mitigate that pressure? Yeah, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson against 2 possible backup tackles.
One of the things we had to do, man, we got to get the ball out of hand fast. Maybe run the football a little bit. You got to help chip and go out. I think we do a good job of doing that. We do a good job of doing that anyway, helping guys out. But I think that's going to be part of our formula. And then if Andy's talking about tickling your tonsils, that means he's pulling some things out. I guess put some things together. So we'll just have to see what it's going to look like.
Run the rock, maybe.
Well, definitely run the ball. You got to do that, definitely. And the funny part is, not even funny. Disappointing part is, when we had the second series and running the ball looked effective, and I was just like, man, we slashed them. Nobody really runs the ball against Dallas. Well, shoot, we was doing it. We're getting some good yardage. And then we came back and we started passing. Went back into our old ways. And then, holding call and pulls us back. And then I'm like, we just reverted back to the things that we were doing before that wasn't really as effective. Got away from the running. Then we started giving the same old, out of the gun, delayed, zone, the wide zone from it too. I mean, man, those things is tough, man. It's tough. So.
Yeah. And hopefully with the injuries that we have in the offensive line, hopefully he's not going to want Pat to sit back there and kind of field the pressure he's going to field. We need to go back to that balance from 2 weeks ago. So maybe with the fact that we're back to this 5-game stretch, the must win, maybe he goes back to most reliable plays to hand the ball to 29. And even Pacheco looked good too. I will say, coming back from the injury, I was honestly hesitant to see how he was going to look with his knee, the knee stuff. But he looked pretty solid. I mean, he spelled Hunt pretty well, I would say.
No, he did. He did look good. Yeah, I was shocked too. It didn't look like he had a big cumbersome brace on either. You know what I mean? He's just like, man, I'm just going to go ahead and roll with it. And I'm sure he had a sleeve over it, but he looked good. And some solid carries.
Yeah. Another super chat from Amda Brown. Appreciate you, buddy. Justin Reid's presence on the field was way better than his coverage. We didn't have these secondary issues with Reid and the Honey Badger. JD, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you 1,000%. And Amda Brown, I think a lot of it is just the experience what they had of communicating, put guys in the right position to kind of make plays. And so when you have a great communicator back there, that understands the scheme and what it is that you're trying to achieve, it makes their job a whole lot easier. You don't have to be the fastest guy, right? And we understood some of the limits that Justin Reid had in his coverage ability. He did a decent job. Honey Badger did too. Both of them, are decent, in pass coverage. I don't know if you say elite, but they are very good enough. But problem goes into when you got young guys in there and young safeties, you can see the holes. You can see guys kind of getting out of place. And that's what I saw. I saw that in the game, and I look over the film. I'm like, yep, there it is. It's another one. I was actually going back and forth with one of our guys, and I'm like, look, I've been saying this all year. I was like, I've been saying this on the show all year about a couple of guys that's been kind of out of place. And it's just, it's just some of that learning that guys have to do. It's the communicating part of it that you have to have tight, Marcus. And so do we have the potential to be good? Absolutely. But those guys just got to be on top of it. They got to know exactly what it is that Dave, Spags, and all those guys want from them. They got to be disciplined football just to know, like, look, we are where we're supposed to be. Everybody, has an area that I'm supposed to cover, and we got to stay there. That's, that's what we talk about, the discipline part. So, yeah, I've been talking about it, but I was kind of going back and forth with one of the guys. I'm like, look, man, I've been talking about these guys. So if I'm sitting there and I'm watching throwing a deep ball and the safety, is expected to have my back, you got the deep, that's what I'm expecting you to do. That's who you should be. Don't leave me out on the island by myself for this. So, yeah, brother. I was just like,
I mean, even Honey Badger said it himself today that he would definitely welcome coming back to Kansas City. He said he would. He was with Kay Adams for some show or Up at Adams show, and she said he said he would welcome coming back to Kansas City. So it'd be bad to have Honey Badger back. I wouldn't mind that. He's obviously seeing some of the kind of what we're talking about, the veteran voice in the secondary, not having that veteran voice. So he's obviously seeing that. But he said he would definitely take the call. According to Kay Adams, about an hour ago, she said he's left the building, so he left without getting a call. But nonetheless, at least just to even have him back there, maybe not for the skill level, but they have him back there as a voice, like a veteran voice that you've talked about. That would be that would pay off. I mean, kind of like what you said with Mike Edwards, and we saw Mike Edwards. I thought Mike Edwards played a pretty decent game. I guess we'll get to your DB grades. I thought Mike Edwards actually provided something we haven't really had, like a play on the ball defensively, which I haven't really seen from our safeties at all this year. Which I thought that was kind of a positive because we hadn't really seen that this year. And Mike Edwards, for his time in Kansas City for that 1 year, he was a guy who he had a knack for the ball. He was always around the play, so I did like seeing that at least.
Yeah, I think you did provide that for us. And for me, you could tell like he hasn't played in a full game just yet. I'm like, okay, Mike, just shoot. That's what he needs. Just give him, the full gamut, okay, so he can just get himself immersed in what we're doing. But you could tell how his reaction to things, like you said, Marcus, and making plays on the field, like you could tell, like he knows where he needs to be. And not only that, but he knows where everybody else is supposed to be also.
Yep.
So you don't have two guys covering one, and it's like, no, I have him. Like, why do you're supposed to pass him off to me? I got him. But Mike, man, he did a good job. He did a good job of that.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for the fact that we had to see CRW get hurt in order for us to pull him up. It's like, well, he provides something that we don't really have in that secondary, especially on the safety spot, which hopefully he sticks around.
Yeah.
Baka 1105, another super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. We will start to win these games if we can put together 2 straight quarters. Too many games we get blanked in a quarter before waking up. And I saw a stat just talking about the run stuff you were talking about, JD, on the Chiefs' second drive. So the first drive was the pick that we got a short field. But on the second drive against the Cowboys, the Chiefs ran the ball 9 times, scored a touchdown that drive. Mm-hmm. On their final 8 drives, the Chiefs ran the ball 14 total times. So 9 times in total in the second drive, and then the rest of the game, 14 total run plays. That is ridiculous.
Amen. Yep.
That's less than
It
two.
is.
That's less than 2 carries a drive.
It is. But the problem goes into, or what that does, and we're talking about protecting Patrick Mahomes. And you've seen guys get soft. You've seen guys get beat at the line of scrimmage. I was watching, a right guard and a left guard getting handled at times in pass protection. And I'm just like, dang, got it. Like, we're playing right into their hands. Like, I know we want to do our stuff. I know we want to run it, but also too, like, we put the integrity of the line and the protection in jeopardy. Sometimes we do that. When those big guys out there running and punishing those guys, that's what they want to do, Marcus. They rather do it more than anything else. And I think sometimes we get so used to, like, man, this is kind of boring ball. Like, let's go up top, which I get. I understand 1,000%. I'm not opposed to going up top. You got to take your shots, some deep ones, when you can. Absolutely. But then all of a sudden you had to sit there and say, man, what is working right here? What else is going to get us into the end zone? What's going to keep Dak and those two fast wide receivers on the sideline? First downs, moving the chains, time of possession. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to keep our guys fresh on the defensive side of the football. And so when we start getting into like that passing and stuff, man, you're just like, oh, man. And I get it. Sometimes, look, if it's open, you got to take it, right? You have to. But then you start wondering, I remember the one we had the penalty was 1st and 20. Then we gave like a tight end screen to Kelce. Then another was like another pass, and Pat took off running. He's trying to, do something with it, and he got sacked. And I'm sitting there thinking like, man, we got it. We just gave up an entire series with ill-advised play calling. And I think for me, Marcus, that was one of the problems I had, brother. I'm telling you, like, our failure to deliver consistently good plays is our issue. Like Baca said, we'll go 2 quarters without doing anything, like just fall off the map. It's like, even like, what are we doing? And then when we see something that is working, it's like, man, keep working, keep doing it until they stop us. How about we do that? We can still do play action, all those stuff off of that as well. We can get big RPOs. Rasheed Rice is still open in the middle. Travis Kelce still open in the middle. And so these things affect defenses. We know it does. Shoot, you can see how they defense start playing this. You start seeing the linebackers starting to flow and, feet in the ground, because now they don't know what we're doing. And so they are sitting there. Now they are playing the option. I'm just like, there it is. That's exactly what they want. You want to make them direct what they're doing defensively. You're the one that's doing that. I love last night. I had to say this. I love the chess match that happened with Sean Payton and Dan Quinn last night. There's a chess match, and you've seen it. You see these two guys out there calling plays just to outthink the other guy. And I'm just like, man, this is beautiful. You just watch what plays when they ran it. They was running. And you see guys getting open. Mariota was making plays, okay? And so sometimes some of the practical things you need to do, just do them. Throw it over the middle. Check it down over to the tight end. Swing route, okay, to the back. Shoot, run it straight up the middle on those guys. Everybody against Denver, shoot, they didn't care about what Denver's defense. They ain't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
None of it.
I thought fourth quarter overtime of that game, I thought Kingsbury called a really good game plan offensively. I mean, that drive they had before, to end the regulation with 15 plays, 70-something yards, that was unreal. I mean, because when they blitzed him, Mariota knew exactly where to go with the ball. I mean, he was gold.
Yeah, knew exactly. That 2-point conversion, man, if Bonita hadn't made that play, the athletic play.
It was there. It was there.
It was there. Walk in. No doubt about it. And all he had to do was just probably pump fake, get him up in the air, and then throw it after that.
Yeah. Still
would have scored. But that's just like, man, I wanted them so bad to beat those jokers. And it helped us out. I mean, just shoot.
Yeah.
But, man, it was. I mean, I'm just talking about a chess match. Defensively, they played a good game. it was just a great football game. It really was a great football game. So
yeah, good showcase for Vance Joseph and Cliff Kingsbury in that game. The DC versus OC matchup. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was.
I think too about Cliff Kingsbury. I obviously I know people say stuff like this. Been saying this for years. Bring Cliff in as the offensive coordinator. We're fourth. We have the fourth least under center rate offensively. Do you know who has the last? Who's the last in under center rate this year?
I don't know who.
The Commanders. That's air raid, baby.
Yeah. But look, here's the thing. If Cliff comes in, Cliff's going to run his stuff. Okay. This, without a doubt, is Andy's offense. And the guys understand that everybody that's been here, that's been under Andy, they're going to run the offense. Dougie, okay. Nagy, the enemy, all those guys that's being offensive coordinator, Kafka, all those guys, they understand what we do offensively, because that's Andy's baby. And so can Cliff come in and mold some of the things? Sure, he could have. I know for a fact he probably could have. It would probably look different, terminology, all those things. I mean, all those things are different, man. So
I definitely think it would be more beneficial for Kingsbury. Obviously, Andy's been around the block. He knows air raid, he knows all the different systems, right? He adapted a lot of his stuff to try to mimic what Pat did so well in college. I think it would actually be beneficial for Cliff Kingsbury to work under Andy Reid so he can learn more about the vast knowledge Andy Reid has, so he can, maybe update his brain as far as the offensive world. I think it would be beneficial, but like you said, I mean, Andy wants guys who know his craft a little bit.
That's right, man. Shoot. It is what it is. And Marcus, we've been successful with it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We've been successful with it. So,
yeah.
Yep.
All right, we'll get into grades. One last comment here. Appreciate the contribution, XL Raider fan, loving the Chief concerns. The Raiders kick butt. We beat the Chargers 95-7. I wish you guys beat the Chargers 95-7, but unfortunately, you guys got your butts kicked, and you got Crosby starting fights with Justin Herbert too. Yikes! Did you see that, JD? Crosby shoving Justin Herbert after a play.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, after play, he was walking back to his huddle. He shoved Herbert down to the ground. I mean, it was dirty play. Yeah, it had nothing to do with the play.
Down to the ground, like Herbert.
Yeah,
he didn't flop. He didn't flop. He wasn't like, oh.
No, it was a pretty good shove. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Herbert broke his throwing hand or his non-throwing hand, his left hand yesterday. Got surgery today and plans on playing next week.
Oh. Richie said Herbert flopped.
Oh, okay.
You got a video of it? I want to see it.
Let me see.
I know somebody got a video of it. We do a good job of pulling that stuff up. So
yeah, I got it.
Oh my gosh, what gives? Oh my goodness, what are you doing?
I don't know if he flopped. I think it's more of like he wasn't expecting it, and it was, when a guy's not ready for a push and you gotta, you're kind of lighting your feet and you're not expecting it. That's what seemed like more. It wasn't that egregious of a push, but it was like out of nowhere. He wasn't expecting it. Here, I got it. I found it. We're in a unique opportunity here. We can talk about this play as a Chief fan, as an observer. We're not involved with this one, but we don't like either team. We can give a good opinion on this one. Right? It's more of like, what the heck, like kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, that's a pretty violent shove.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting it at all. He was walking next to him. He could shove. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on now. Wait a minute. Hold on. He did kind of give himself away, like, oh, You see it, that little like, oh, like he just.
Yeah.
Like he didn't try to put his arms up or anything because somebody put your arms are gonna come up like, hey man.
That's true.
he just kind of dead, went down. Oh, hey, man, like,
I don't know, the way he kind of like looks at him as he's falling down too. I think he's kind of caught off guard by it. You see, he turns his head to look at him as he falls down.
Yeah, but put your arm. Come on, man. You gonna put your arms and like trying to grab somebody or something, while you follow somebody good, like boom, you're like, hey, like that would be your reaction, like to reach out and stuff. He just gives all the way.
Yeah.
And he had to know he was walking in this vicinity, Marcus. I mean, he's fussing at whoever he's fussing at, right?
Yeah.
He knows Crosby's right there. I mean, everybody knows where Crosby's gonna be at. So
that's true. I mean, only one guy can get in Crosby's face and not fold. That's PM15, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right, so everybody 30% flop. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to get into our grades for week 13. I know very anticipated by some of you guys. You guys want to see what JD has got to say about Andy and Nagy. So here we go.
Okay. So like I said, I think they called it a pretty good game. Starting it off. Running the football. I think, to me, I thought we were turning the corner, Marcus. I was just like, daggone it, they're actually going to do it. This actually looks like the offense is supposed to look. And we go down to, after the first one, we score. Second series, look great. We run the daggone football right down their throats. Kareem Hunt looked strong, gave it to Pacheco. He got some yardage. Worthy got a couple of, reverses. The one he had, that other reverse came back. It was, if we blocked it right, it would have been a great play. It would have been a great play. But then third series, we line up in shotgun. It was like, okay, let's take a couple deep shots. I'm okay with that, right? I'm like, I understand why you're doing it. I absolutely understand why you're doing it. Because they have to respect that too. They got to know that you have every single arrow in the quiver. They got to know, look, we're going to take one up top just in case you slip, that you are slipping. And if you're slipping, we're going to catch you slipping. And so they did that. But then they continued to do it. And it wasn't like they try to get something manageable. And I get, running the screen and hopefully the screen works. But then it was like Pat, now you got Pat running around. Even though our right guard is not there. All-world right guard is not there protecting. Caliendo's holding on for dear life. Trying to stop those monsters in front of him. Sumate he didn't have a great job. He didn't do a great job. He was getting obliterated. And so you put Pat back there in jeopardy. And we was trying to chip on the outside. The guys on the inside was having a hard time, particularly the guards. So that's the awareness we know we have to have. But those guys, I think we did a good job, toward the end, getting the ball back in our hand, moving the change a little bit. So they try to do somewhat of it, Marcus, try to get back into it. But it was like, man, now you almost have to pass a little bit. Now you're not doing the plays like it should look. When you was up 14-10, you could do whatever you wanted to do. You could run everything you wanted to run. And we tried that, but then we just went back into our old ways. So actually, man, I gave these guys, I gave them a C+. I actually gave them a C+. I think some of the calls were good calls, but then we just started lacking some creativity. I think we started putting our guys in the worst play. Oh man, shoot. Switch this thing up. Make this thing a C.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Look, man, I try to be fair, and I think I'm being fair with the C+. I do think I'm being fair with the C+. But I'm just kind of looking at it. All my points that I'm making, it's infuriating when you got a team like this. We're having a hard time stopping the wide receivers on the outside. We've been kind of and they graded pretty decent this season. They graded pretty decent as far as the offensive coaches. Now I'm gonna keep it a C+, man. I'm gonna keep it a C+. I just hate because you got to know who's protecting Pat, your personnel, and the things that you're running. There were some calls I'm just like, well, sure, we could do this all day, like the out routes. Like the one call that was brilliant with Xavier Worthy running the pick and getting out. It was beautiful. Perfect play set up. They called it exactly how it's supposed to look. And then we get a bad call. That's on the refs. That ain't on negative, guys. That's on the refs. That right there was not an illegal pick. It was not. It was not. Worthy didn't do anything to touch that defender. He took his guy and he ran it against, I think it was Hollywood Brown. And he got open. It's like, hey, man, that's how I look. Oh, well, running my defender into the other guy? Like, he's got to get out of the way. He's guarding me. So there's no way that should have been called. No way. No way. A couple of bad calls in this game. But, man, yeah, man, I'm C plus a C is where I'm at. Okay? C plus a C. Okay? For me, like somebody said on here, we didn't run the ball enough like we should have. And we failed to do it because surrender the first half, man. It looked great. It looked great. And it seemed like we tried to catch up to that, running the ball, but it was like ill-advised. I'm like, man, it's like, why are you running down this one? Like, why now? So.
Yeah, it just seems like, and for me, I guess, when it's 4 games in a row where we'd have a 3 and out, that stat where 4 games where we've had 3 and out coming out of halftime, when we talk about the adjustments and all that stuff, like you should be going to the halftime and making these adjustments instead we're coming out flat. And that, I think, as much as this execution offensively is more, game plan schematic, I want to see some kind of creativity. I want to see something, with the offense there. And especially this past game where Brashard Smith gets us a really nice return, and that's what we respond with is going 3 and out. Actually that was the drive where they had that pick play penalty. And then we have to dig into a hole after that. So unfortunate, but I agree with your C or C plus with the play calling.
Yeah, because one of those, Josh Simmons got called holding. Now, obviously, it's not on the coaches for the guy to hold. It's not on them. He's got to be able to move his feet. He's got to be a little bit more, stout in that protection. And so, is that the coach's fault? No. Josh puts his hands on the guy, gives him time. The play looked good. It was actually a pretty good play. But we wouldn't know because now it gets negated because of the holding call. So it's like, well, but this is your first round pick. We ain't talking about the right guard is over here, trying to, hold on for dear life. This is a guy that can do it. So.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with the offensive line this week. I mean, Reid did say Trey Smith and Juwan are coming along good. Hopefully that means they play this week. If not, I'm very curious to see what happens with the right guard spot. Because I do think I've made jokes before about Caliendo, but I think at this point,
we need Trey back desperately.
We need someone to play in that spot. I don't know if I can see. I don't know if I can handle a game with 66 in that right spot. Like we've seen from him, and I know people say, "Oh, Andy's always found Allegretti types." He ain't Allegretti, okay? I mean, he's not Allegretti. He's a spot duty guy coming in the middle of the game, but I think we've seen from him. I think we have to have something. Norzad potentially, Hanson. I mean, give me some of the younger guys. At least see what we got in them, but I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, man, shoot, they might not be the caliber Caliendo is. That's probably why they're not playing.
Which is scary.
Yeah, so I can't put a guy in that I know now. This guy, shoot, if you saying Caliendo ain't ready, this guy back here definitely ain't ready.
Yeah,
definitely gonna put him in. Shoot. So,
and if we are going to roll with Caliendo again, let's try. I mean, it's happened in the game before that when we started to run towards Caliendo's spot. We weren't getting anything as far as rushing yards when Trey Smith went out of the game. Go to the other side, and now no Simmons. But if Jalen Moore's going to go to the left tackle spot, maybe Wanye's our right tackle this game. I don't know. It's very, very interesting to see what they do with the musical chairs, the offensive line this week. If you had your druthers, JD, how would you go? Let's say Simmons, Smith, and Juwan are out this week. How would you? Who would be the guys you would go from left to right?
Oh golly. I would probably put Jalen Moore left tackle, Kylie in the right guard, and then I put Wanye at right tackle.
Yeah,
I'd rather do it that way. I just shoot. I mean, at this point, you like shoot. We just try to hold on for dear life at this moment.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I'm one of those. I have faith in Wanye. I do. And I know I told Wanye, man, he's been a little banged up over the years, trying to get himself into shape and playing all those different things, and I think he has some talent to him. I think he does. Jalen Moore, we brought him in because he was going to be our left tackle anyway, Marcus. So we know he's got talent. So we can get away with what we need to with those guys. I think we can. I don't think it's no issue, no problem with that. These guys just need to hunker down, man, and get it done. That's what it boils down to. Like I like Caliendo, but you see the limits of what he can do. You just, I mean, it's just it is what it is. Really.
Yeah. I'd rather take a chance on Frank Caliendo right now, JD. And have him imitate a Trey Smith or something at that spot.
Oh yeah, he can probably do it too. He can probably pull it off.
All right, so now we're gonna get to our quarterback play, JD.
Oh, I knew you was going there next. I already knew it. You know what? What I admire about Pat is that Pat, without a doubt, doesn't have any quit in him. And he does everything in his power to get the job done. For him to be able to jump through a couple of tackles like he did, I was just like, man, this is phenomenal. Falling down, making the throw. They gushed over Bo Nix making that throw last night. Gushed over it. Oh my gosh! And oh man, and I'm sitting there thinking like, this is just another Sunday for Pat. That's who he's been. He made four or five of those a game. So it tells you the level of who PM15 is. It tells you that the level of talent that we got with our guy, best in the business. People could dispute it, whatever they want to say. PM15, man, is an absolute rare talent. He is. But he's still human. He's still human. And so sometimes his decision-making is questionable. But it's like we can't keep asking Pat to be Superman every single play, every single game, even though he can do it. But he's got help around him. The guys got to get open for him. Guys got to do different things like that for him to go ahead and perform. But him going and running for the first down, that's heroic. That's what it should. That's what it's all about. That's the leadership. And he's going to do everything in his power to do it, even if he has to put himself in jeopardy. There were some times he was off key. There were some times that he probably should just check the ball down. We say this because Pat, he wants the deep ball. We know that. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes we got to do the practical thing, man. And Pat, check down. Get out your hands right now. and throw it, especially when you know that, and he can feel, being under duress, start getting a little happy feet dancing around and trying to, create things. And that's when I'm just like, no, Pat, don't. You're going to run forward, just run forward. Don't run backwards. Don't do that. Or don't extend to the sideline. I mean, and the thing is, he'll do this 100 times, and 90 of those will be perfect. You say, dang, only Pat, right? Another 10 to look like, shoot, Pat, throw it away. Just toss it. But I think Pat had a good game. He did. And he was trying to put the team on his back like he always does. But with that being said, I was going to be a little hard on Pat. But I'm actually going to give him a decent grade. I gave Pat a B-. A B-.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about some of the things in the post-game show that he was holding the ball a little bit too long there. I mean, at some point you need to know your personnel. It's like, you got to get rid of that thing. I mean, especially this week, if some of the guys we just talked about are going to be your starting tackles and guards, know your personnel. Get it out of your hand, especially knowing who's on the other side. So I think that's the big thing is just getting rid of that ball and just getting that ball within 2 seconds, getting it out.
But I think he trusts his guys. That's he trusts them. He trusts for them to do their work, do their job. And so sometimes when he gets it out fast, like, okay, he had a little bit more time. But that's where it's like he's a little discombobulated now because he feels the pressure. He don't know where it's coming from. Yeah. He knows what the protection is going to be, so he knows that, shoot, if it's going to be a 6-man protection, I have help with the running back. Cool. Or the tight end's going to sit there and stay and go. We would do a much better job. But sometimes in that pocket, man, he'll start to squirt out. So that ain't Pat's fault. Shoot, plenty of times something just getting beat. Pat's like, oh, let me get out of here.
Yeah, and I also think a lot of that falls with the play calling aspect too, where we were situationally 3rd and 10. And I've seen these slow developing plays, and it's we have a makeshift offensive line right now. Let's get something out of his hands fast, and he's waiting for these things to develop, and he's just getting guys coming at him right off the bat. Right. That's not his fault. It's
not his fault. Throw the football. Check down. Here we go. Middle of the field. Get it somewhere. Those areas of middle field is always open, and that's what I said. Rasheed Rice and Travis Kelce, they rule that area. They rule that part of it. The quick outs were still working. It's helping us out. So, oh, man. I don't know, brother.
But I agree with you. I think B- is fair. I think some people are a little bit too hard on Pat this week, and it's honestly, give me a different quarterback in that game. We're getting dominated by a lot. We're not losing by 3. We're getting dominated.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now we got offensive line. JD, I had to go with a picture like this. I couldn't give them a like a fun picture. I couldn't do it.
So, oh man, with obviously the injuries, even when the guys were in there, they did a decent job. Those first couple of series, they did a decent job blocking. They was getting up the field. They was getting out there in the secondary. They was getting up right to the second level on linebackers, and it looked good. It looked really good. Now, me, coaching O-line, I still want to see finish. I want to see finish from guys. But when we put those guys in position, and everybody say, man, they here to do their job, Marcus. They're here to do their job, okay? Let me say that. They are here to do their job. They are here and paid to block, okay, and pass block. Run block and pass block. That is what they're paid to do. And they had a hard time with some of the pass blocking. And so that picture right there, that's what it looked like. Like getting turned around, trying to hold on for dear life. And so the only one that had a solid game was Creed Humphrey. Creed was the only one I think had a really solid game. Everybody else, man, they were struggling out there. It's better for them when they was running the football. Now you just get your hands on them and just move bodies, and just stay engaged. A couple of them. That's why I said, man, I want to see some finish. I want to see Jalen Moore finish. There's a couple runs we should have had a little bit longer than what we did, and we just didn't finish our guys. I'm like, stay on him. If I'm in a meeting, hey, man, stay on these guys. Stay on them. So I think O-line, man, was I think they were average. I give them a C. That's a pretty good grade for what I've seen out there, man. I mean, shoot. They really
And how hard is that? I know we always talk about like receivers coming in the middle of a game or a quarterback coming in the middle of a game, but like, just how hard is that for a unit like offensive line, where like you have three technically with Caliendo, but three guys who aren't part of the starting unit coming in, is two coming in the middle of a game. I mean, just how hard is that?
Shoot, you weren't expecting to block Williams today. Yeah, you didn't wake up this morning believing that Quinyon Williams was going to be in front of it. He's right there breathing down your neck. You're like, oh my gosh. Yep, here I am. You just got to do your job. Plain and simple. And do it to the best of your ability. You say you need to go ahead, you need to win your battle. You need to win your battle. So, Michael Kittle, you give him a C-. I'm going to give him a C. I think they were just average. Like I said, I think the first few series, I think they did their daggone good job. I thought they were pretty stellar in what they did. They looked pretty good. And then second half, like they was almost like the offensive coaches. When offensive coaches would call certain plays, they looked like they were just deer in headlights in some of those plays. I'm like, man, why are we calling this? We can't leave these guys out there. We can't leave Pat out there for this. Pat is over getting pushed around and stuff. I mean, geez. But they did average job. It was average. See.
13 sacks the last 4 games for Pat.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? 13?
About 3 a game, yeah. 3 against Dallas, 4 against Indianapolis, 3 against Denver, 3 against Buffalo, even 3 against Washington too. So 16 if you go the last 5 games.
If you look at what they did, as soon as they seen the new guys in, they ran stunts and twists. That's easy. That's easy pickings right there. Because we know guys, it's easy for a guy just to line up in front of me. But now when he's hitting that, he's slashing down to this gap, I'm following him, another guy wrapping around. You're like, oh, who's that? That's your guy. That's your guy wrapping around. And the guy right there beside you should let you know. Who's that? He's yours. He's the one ear holding Pat back there right now. Pat running around, scurrying, trying to get somewhere. But this is what I was talking about. When Pat is scurrying around, Pat, don't back up. You know the linemen, if they weren't holding up initially, don't back up because you know they still coming. Let the ball go. Throw it right over there to Andy Reid and hit him dead in his mustache. Let Andy catch it. Jalen Royals on the side. Let him catch it. Throw it to somebody over there. But don't take no sack. You don't need to because it pushes us back, man. So, all right.
One more question before we go. So Josh Simmons fractured his left wrist, and now it's because of a Kareem Hunt chip where he kind of put his body into it. Just curious because I'm sure you received a running back with chip, a guy you were blocking, or maybe sometimes because you held your own, so you don't really need much chippage. But Mitchell Schwartz tweeted saying this is reason, I forgot, misquoting here, but essentially what he said was, this is exhibit a million as to why why tackles don't like chips. And he said that he used that he used that video of Josh Simmons getting hurt as an example.
Yeah, they might not like it, man. They might not need it. We don't like our quarterback getting hit in the mouth either. And so we trying to prevent that from happening. So I get it. I understand. But the running back is only saying, if you see color, anything shows, give him a little bit. And he's supposed to know that's coming. He's only supposed to push that back on him. And so it's just an unfortunate thing, unfortunate event. The thing is, you bring down 15's neck, shoot, and something happens to 15, he out for the season, you should have been like, where's the chip?
Kiss the season goodbye.
Right. Where's the chip at? So I get both sides of it. I do. I get both sides. If you don't need the help, don't ask for the help. But if guys out there that need the help, then so be it. Look, Josh Simmons can hold his own. It's just an unfortunate thing, man. I would expect for something like that to happen.
Yeah.
Really. So
Andy Reid said today he's getting a second opinion on his wrist. With that, I've seen some fans on Twitter, more old school fans, I would say club it up. We've seen guys in the past in the 90s and 80s play tackles play with the club. I mean, that'd be pretty hard to play with the club as a tackle, right? I mean, I have to imagine that'd be. Sure, you're not really getting much anything here.
No, I mean, I don't know. You got the club, and you can make it whatever they could fashion it to where. I don't know how bad the break is, or let the doctors and all of those. They do a much better job of saying, "Hey, look, we wanted to be stabilized, but if we can't put you in something that can stabilize your wrist, and if this will just be more of an issue going forward, then we're not going to do it." But I'm sure they've talked about it. I'm sure they talked about, making a club. Shoot, you make a big old club, man, and hit that sucker across his head like you got a big old mace. You know what I mean? One of those medieval maces. Put some spikes on that sucker.
Yeah.
They just, they catch that sucker real good across the face. What's the ref gonna say now? You ain't holding his face mask.
That's true, actually. Yeah, no hold.
Oh, catch that sucker right here a couple times. I guarantee you start rushing. Hey, ref, he's like, hey, man, he got the club. What you want me to do? He's not holding you. So he's allowed to hit you with whatever he's got. As long as he's not holding you, he's fine. So
I guess two-part question then. Do you think we'll see Josh Simmons again this year? And do you think the fact that he's getting a second opinion on the injury is a good sign that he might be able to play?
Good sign, yes. I think we will. Especially if we go and we finish up, we're in the hunt to get to the playoffs, I think we will. That's why you go get a second opinion. Somebody sitting there saying, like, man, we can do it. We got somebody, a specialist that can check this out, see what they think. Why not? Why not? So I'm sure there's been the other linemen that play with clubs.
Yeah, I have to imagine. I've seen I've seen a lot of Chief fans posting this, like this old Commanders or Redskins player back in the day, old lineman. I think it's from the Hog days, with a giant thing on his left hand. So yeah. Let him just put a big old knife on it and come out there like that, and just out of his hand. Yeah. So it could be out there like that, just like ah! Oh my God. Be good. All right, so now we're going to get to our running backs, Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Amber Short-Smith.
Running backs did a good job, man. Kareem Hunt, man, looks great as always. He's just been he's been tearing it up these past few weeks. We got him to run the football. When he runs the football, he looks strong. He looks good. He's running over 3 guys. He's breaking through tackles. He's our star in the backfield. When Pacheco got hurt, Pacheco came in. He got some good looks. Ran the ball hard. Looks good. Our running backs did a great job, man. I gave these guys a B+. Simple.
Keep feeding them. I mean, Kareem Hunt and with Pacheco coming back from the injury, I know a lot of Chief fans, everyone said that Kareem should be the RB1. He's shown a little bit more. And obviously, with the way things have turned 2 years in a row, Pacheco coming back from injury, towards the end of the season, Kareem is the RB1, and Pacheco is pretty much spelling him. But it was nice to see Pacheco come back and give us some much-needed boost when Kareem Hunt was out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, we just don't see enough touches for either one of them. But going forward, hopefully. All right, wide receivers, JD.
Wide receivers, I think they did a pretty decent job. I wondered when I started looking on the film, from all 22, when Pat was looking down the field, how come guys weren't open? And when I looked down, I was like, there was a few guys that was open, like maybe not getting through your progression. And maybe that's part of the problem. When he gets flush, he can't get through his progression like he needs to find guys. And then he wants guys to run around to get open. And I think some did a great job, other ones maybe not. But I think they know, okay, this is what the Chiefs do. They're looking to get those open areas and, find to extend plays. And some guys get open like that. Rashid Rice had a good game. I mean, I thought this was, what he was doing. Hollywood Brown caught, a couple balls, and Xavier Worthy did a good job. Hadn't seen Juju do anything the past few weeks, man.
Not really.
Yeah, same thing with Tyquan Thornton. And I get everybody wants a deep ball. We threw him a deep ball. He's double covered. Okay? We teams know he's out there on the field. They're going to know it too. They're going to say, hey, look, they're going to try to get the ball to 80 deep. What they're going to try to do. But our moneymaker's right there is 4-1. Hollywood Brown caught some good balls. And so I think they did a decent job, man. What I do want to see from our wide receivers, and this is why I gave them this grade, I want to see finish for them guys in the run game. It seems like Juju's the only one in there that will finish his blocks like he should. And I need to see a little bit more from my wide receivers doing it and just knowing it. So with that being said, I gave our wide receivers a B-.
Yeah, I thought this was probably one of Rice's best games. That catch he had in the end zone was unreal. For him to get up there and have that hang time to come and kind of go back to get that ball was awesome. I thought Hollywood's toe tap in the back of the end zone was awesome. He sky for that thing and got two toes down. Worthy's the one I wanted to ask you about, JD, because that's the one who's been getting kind of caught in the crosshairs for as far as Chiefs Kingdom on Twitter. And this is the one thing that I keep seeing a lot of is this. So people keep saying, they're going to say, you're never going to believe, this is kind of pretty much loosely what I've been seeing with a lot of Chief fans, but you're never going to believe which way Xavier Worthy ran. So people said there's a lot of green on that left side, and he ends up going right towards the sideline, and he ends up getting about 7 yards after this catch here. Can you logically talk about this? Because, I mean, it seems like his momentum's already going in that direction when he catches that ball. It's not fair to say, guys, catch it and then turn back the other way. Obviously, he's fast enough to do that, but he's getting a lot of flack for catching this and going towards number 14 and going towards the sideline.
Worthy don't know who's behind him. He don't know if there's a guy on the other side of him like that. He doesn't. He's catching this ball. He's secured it for one, first getting it in him, okay, because it's a late ball, and then immediately, because he's right-handed, he's turning to the right side. Like you said, his momentum's kind of bringing him this way. Shoot, you know what he can see more so over here would be to his left. He can see that more than he can see to the right. That's like what's behind him, and maybe he sees a glance of this one right. The defender coming into the what's the name into the frame up there at the top.
Right.
Maybe he can see him, but at this moment, he's kind of turned around. He don't know where everybody is. He just know he's catching this ball, he's securing it, and then he's taking off. So is this a video or is this just the catch?
It's just still a shot of this catch. Everyone just saying, look at all the green behind him. That's kind of because of all the receivers he's been taking, of all the players this week, he's been kind of taking the lumps as far as anybody I've seen.
Armchair quarterbacks. Here we go. Everybody's, you can see it up there in the stands. You can see it. You ain't on the field. You ain't in the crossfires. You don't know what's going on out there. And so he's just trying to, right now, he's trying to catch, gauging, where am I at on the field? Where's everybody at? And so when he's catching it, like you said, he don't know who's behind him. So he can turn around and get smashed. He doesn't know. But he knows where he was going. I think if I'm not mistaken, Marcus, his route was actually going over here like that way.
Yes, his momentum was coming that way.
Yeah. So I mean, that's another reason he's running this way, because he just finished where his route was. Okay, and you would assume that you got green grass because he was going to be open. Well, he's open now.
Right.
That's where he's going to continue to go in that way, because he knew he had green grass going over there. I mean, picking this, man. People look, when things don't go right, people looking for people to blame. Okay, that's what it is. All right, and then I say this. Look, I try to be fair with our guys. I do. Okay, because I played the game before, but I'm be honest. I'm be straight. You know, for certain things I see technique-wise, they can do better. Like I said, the wide receivers, what I want to see them do is finish, especially in the run game. If I can see them going up and getting on the safety or corner to go block, they need to do a much better job. They need to come off the line of scrimmage and know who they get. They need to do a much better job. But part of their job is when they catch this football, they're here to make plays and just get open and then make something happen. And so he gets open. He did his job. Now he's trying to do a little bit more. He didn't know there's green grass back here on this other side of it. When we look up here, we see it on video and TV. Oh, why don't you go here? Well, shoot, we have a different vantage point than all the bullets flying and people out here and stuff like that. That's normal. That's normal. So is it here? So he spins. You know, he just happened to shoot. You know, turn this way.
But for me, my biggest grub really from this game, we talked about after the postgame show, was the drop he had and that free play that Pat just threw it up there for him, and it seemed like he didn't really wasn't really trying. And that's the one thing. This one I think it's bogus, but I think that one stood out to me more than anything else. And this one's getting talked about more than the other plays, which I think is odd. I think that play was the one that stood out to me.
Oh, man, it's scramble drill. He catch the football, man. Now get busy.
Yeah.
Now get busy.
Yeah.
He just happened to turn that way. Shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Yeah, because I think that one showed more of are we not? What's going on here? You just gave up on the play and you just didn't even jump up for it, because Bland didn't even play the ball there. Bland was just doing nothing. It's dude, that would have been huge. That would have been right before halftime. That one situationally and the way that whole thing kind of looked, I thought optically, that looked horrible. But for some reason, this is the play that people talk about more so, which is weird.
Yeah, he could have definitely went up for it and high pointed it. It came down, and the other guy got his hand in there. It was just oh, okay. But it did look like he kind of quit on it. It did he didn't even know it was a free play.
Yeah.
Or if he did, it was oh, okay. They called the blew the whistle. Yeah, I was just what was that? So
yeah. Yeah, Demetrius Spence says, I was at the game, watched it go down in real time. Worthy did what he could on that play.
I mean, you can see it.
Yeah.
You see it. He has no idea. He's trying to find himself on the field. He already done turned around. Okay. So go back to that play one more time, Marcus.
All right.
So what people don't quite understand, okay, when you run scramble drill, okay, there's certain rules to the scramble drill as well. All right. If you're the deep guy, you got to come shallow. If you're shallow goal, you go deep. If you're the mid-range guy, you got to go the way the quarterback is going, and somebody else is supposed to come underneath. So if we're watching this, okay, Xavier Worthy is playing up there up in the bunch. He's back there. And so just watch his route, okay? So this is what route he initially has. So he takes off. He has an over route, okay? So he's running across to run over. Okay, he ran through two guys to run over, right? But he sees, I think, down here who's at Rashid Rice. Okay, all right. So now, rule kicks in. Okay, so go ahead and run it. He don't feel him. Now he's coming back to where Pat is. Now he's turning around. This way he's got to get into the sight of where the quarterback is. Okay, and he's kind of the deep guy. So Pat lets this thing go. All right. Now, obviously, if Pat because he's throwing off one leg and half his body's off the ground, he just got to get to Worthy. Okay. It's not like he's throwing it deep and Worthy can keep running this way. But Worthy runs this. Okay, he turns around, coming this way, stops, catches the football. Now, he get a glimpse of this. The guy, I keep like y'all can see my screen when I'm pointing to it, but he gets a glimpse on the guy on the 35 initially coming down toward him. Okay, he gets a quick little glimpse of that. That's what is in his sight. So he turns back this way. Okay, down he sees the other guy, but he sees also somebody else block him. So he's like, let me use my speed to get around here. So he doesn't know anything else. I guarantee he realized he registered in his brain from initially seeing Rashid Rice on the other side that there's a defender over there with Rashid Rice. And maybe it could be somebody else over there with him too, right? He already ran through two guys. So now he's actually reverse field to catch this ball with Pat. So he just staying on that same lane and trajectory he was going before. This is ridiculous. It's madness to talk about that play.
Christopher Kelly says, between the Super Bowl and him playing through this season hurt, Worthy definitely deserves respect. Glad he's achieved. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of Worthy slander on because he's projected to get 62 catches for 600 yards this year. That's one of the tweets I saw. Yeah. And then they're taking away the few games he missed with the dislocated shoulder, and he's playing through that. Going to have probably surgery in the offseason. And then his constant ankle injury, which I'm sure he's probably going to have to get that cleaned up in the offseason too. So,
man, one all right with me, man. One is all right with me.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Shoot.
All right, so now we're going to go to our tight ends, JD, and I thought Kelce was going to have himself a special day when he caught that ball in the end zone. What a beautiful shot, too.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful. He and it's almost Pat threw the ball. He almost didn't even have his head around. The guy grabbed him by his shoulder pads, and Kelce just turned his head. He just happened to be up there and catch his ball. I was like, that's amazing, just by them two, just to be on the same page. Because Travis is sitting there thinking, this is fourth down. He's coming to me. Well, he better come to me. I tell you another tight end who was like that. It was TG. TG.
I bet.
Well, down. You better come to me. I better be seeing the ball. I'm coming out the break expecting the ball to be on me. Oh, man. I remember we got so upset. I think it was his last game down there. They was in the playoffs. It was fourth down. And I think they threw the ball to Roddy White. And TG was just so upset. Because I think he might have been open, but also, too, I know he's thinking, man, they should have came to me. I think Roddy might have been covered or it wasn't even close to the end zone, but TG was in the end zone. But I know TG thinking that, man, I'm going to make that catch all day. I'm going to will myself to make his catch. It's almost like watching last night Zach Ertz. Remember they threw him one down the middle and the linebacker just got his hand on it? I was just like, God. But you seen Ertz go up for that sucker, man.
I thought he plucked it.
He did. He had it. Dude punched it out. But then he missed the one down there in the end zone.
That was another bad one.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I was telling myself, I said, man, Ertz don't ever, he's as sure-handed as they get. He don't miss those. You see him get up, he's like looking at his glove. He's like rubbing his glove like, man, what the heck?
Well, if you notice, when he tried to get the ball when he was on the ground in the end zone, he tried to grab the ball and he couldn't really grip it with the glove. And then he looked at his gloves and, okay, someone's up here.
Yeah, man. But that's hardly to miss that. But 8-7, when you report, go to him. That's your go-to. So, with that being said, it was good to see Jared Wiley out there catch a couple of balls. It was a couple. He got a block for the touchdown for Rashid Rice. Did a great job on that. But then there was one that he missed. There was Worthy doing the reverse. He had got the one reverse, but then the reverse, I guess you want to call it, whatever. The bend play, and he missed the guy. That's where he got tackled in the backfield. If he didn't, it might have been a big play on that. But it was good to see, Wiley get out there. get his feet wet, catching the football.
Oof. What a play to get called on your first one of your first career catches on fourth down.
Fourth down.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Fourth down. I know he said it like, man, just catch this daggone ball. Just catch it. And so, but him and Kelce, man, they did a good job. I'm gonna give these guys, man. Tight ends always do a good job. See, Marcus, they gonna think I'm biased, and I am biased with the tight ends.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. Block and stuff. I'm gonna give them a B. B and B plus.
Yeah. Chiefs fan from SoCal says they need to target Travis more. I think so too. I don't think they targeted him a lot this past game.
Yeah, pure and simple.
And talk about those lulls we go and we don't do anything for quarters. Most of those times, those quarters don't do anything. They're not really targeting Travis at all in those quarters, which is odd.
Mm-hmm. What Trav had? What was his? Let me see. What did he have?
He was 5 for 45 and a touchdown. And 6 targets.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, him and Kareem, they both need to eat.
Yes, they do. So,
all right, now we're going to go to defense to Steve Spagnuolo, and yikes.
Yikes. Spags is my guy, man. I like Spags a lot. But it seemed like Dallas started picking up on some of the things that we were doing. And we like dropping our defensive ends to cover. I don't like it as much. And so sometimes we should have been running man as opposed to zone, putting our hands on guys. We just gave them a little bit too much room. So we couldn't get back there like we needed to. We got the one, get the interception and look great. I'm like, this is how the game's going to go. We need to come after Dak every chance we get. And so it just didn't seem like they made an adjustment and kind of got our number when we wanted to blitz. They knowing who was going to come. But then that whole dropping the defensive end, they were running little fire zone and stuff, wasn't working. He's getting the first downs, dropping off to the tight end. Heck, they had one where Nick Bolton came from the A-gap, backside A-gap, trying to cover the slot guy. And I'm like, that can't be it. There's no way he's going to be able to get that unless, but I was thinking about, unless Nick had the inside, if he ran inside, Nick would pick him up. The safety was supposed to come down and cover the flat. I think it's exactly how it's supposed to happen, Marcus. But I'm just like, there's no way Nick is going to be able to cover that slot all the way from the backside A gap. And so I think him and Trecker got it kind of, they picked each other. The guy got a first down. I think they went down and they either kicked a field goal or they might have scored on it. So Spags, man, I think he should have called a much better game. I think the game plan was decent. But, man, sometimes guys got to make plays, man. I don't know what's going on out there with our secondary, but then you just leave it in the hands of the men to make the plays. What do you do? Does he put them in the right place? I think so. Shoot, a couple of them are questionable. Like I said, backing off the defensive end and stuff. Yeah, well. So I'm gonna get Spags, man. I'm gonna get Spags a C+. That's what I'm giving him.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'll say this. I mean, it seems like he's becoming predictable, and he's in a tough place because, like, without the blitz, we aren't getting pressure. So, like, it's we're really suffering because of that, and it's not really his fault. But at the same point, I mean, what can he do when he's not getting pressure from the up front? I mean, what was your best advice, BJ, if you were to try to help him out here? Because it's tough because without calling a blitz, we ain't getting any pressure, and that's just roster construction. I guess I would say is not having guys who can go after the quarterback.
do something that's unorthodox. Like, don't be as predictable. Bring some other guys, some different ones. And so it seemed like they knew, like our blitzes, like they just picked it up. And Dak sat back there with poise, expecting it. He check off, keep the back end, tight end also chipping, and then going to the flat, wide open. I'm just like, wow. But guys that should be in a position to make the plays, is that indicative of what we're calling, or is that on the guy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the one McDuffie blitzed, and then Connor took over. And then he had no up top help from Hicks. I mean, that's not Spags' fault necessarily. That's just
fault.
Yeah.
No. But it was a couple times third down. They was good. I think first half. I think it was third and long.
Oh yeah, they killed us in third long.
Yeah. I'm like, geez. Like nothing. I mean, I'm talking about. I ain't just talking about a guy. I'm talking about wide open in the middle. I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we running? Like literally, like 5 yards around. I'm like, they caught the ball. It's almost like Worthy. Like, okay, where do I go? Because I don't know where everybody is. Somebody's supposed to be here. How am I this open? So then we start changing up, man, to get guys get their hands on folks to be more aggressive. So I think it's what we needed to do, man. So C plus C areas is where I'm at. Maybe C. Yeah. I didn't like this at all.
Yeah, it's C minus, C plus for the chat.
Yeah.
And one B minus. All right, we got defensive backs, JD. This is the topic that we've had since the post-game show.
Man, our DB's been having a hard out in the past couple of weeks. They have. I mean, against Denver, the Cowboys. I'm trying to think who else, man. They was, because I'm looking at their grades. C minus. I think C minus was against Denver because we made all them guys look good. Cortland Sutton, he was like, I'm so glad the Chiefs came in town. So I got busy. This week was tough, man. McDuffie had his hands full with CeeDee Lamb. Jalen Watson had his hands full with George Pickens. And to be honest, oh man, I don't know if he was intimidated or what, but he just didn't seem like he played like his old self. Jalen Watson didn't. I think we came in just a little bit too much cushion when he needed to. Should just trust it. And I know, look, it weighs on you. When you know that you're going against a real dude across from you, it's tough. These two jokers right there could keep you up at night. They sure could. Shoot. And CeeDee Lamb's the real truth. I mean, that's he's always one of the top 5 receivers in the league. Always. There's a reason for that. He's crafty. He runs great routes. He's fast. Catch the football. You know, I said we had the dropsies. This sucker didn't want to drop nothing.
Nothing.
Nuh-uh. Him and Pickens either. Matter of fact, they was mad because they thought they should have had more balls. There was a couple balls in the dirt. Hey, man, I'm open. Dak, just hit me. I'm just like, geez. So now D-Boy, they had a rough outing. Like I said, I think sometimes not being in the right position, should have done a much better job of that. I gave our DBs a C to C minus. That's where they are.
Yeah, you could have made the argument for worse, honestly.
Yeah, I'll give him a C. I'm gonna give him a C because I do believe some of those pass interferences. I dispute those. I think they were wrong. I think those guys were playing. You're supposed to let those guys play. So I think some of those pass interferences called on him should have been called. But then there was just other times that himself was just getting open. And one, they had McDuffie in the end zone. You know, the stutter step, stop, and then go. Like,
Pickens on that 2-point conversion.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
Nuts, man.
Yeah. Can't keep going for the outside fake, but you can't go for the outside fake after I put my hands on you. If I put my hands on your throat, you can't go on the outside. Also, I got to be cautious because I know you could take off on me too. That's just how talented guys they are. So tough task, man. C. I give him a C.
With you. All right, defensive line, JD.
You know what, man? D-line. Like I said, man, Gelati played a good game. Chris played a good game. I think Amina did a decent job. We need other guys to come up and show. We did a pretty decent job in the run game until they squirted the one up the middle. And so that's damn. I mean, that is what it is. We got to stop that. Sometimes we got a two gap. We got to know. Same thing with 9-5. Sometimes we just got to take those 2 men and throw them in the backfield, close those holes up. But like I said, I think Gelati did a great job, man. I watched him. He actually showed me a lot. Kalafkis, man, man, I'm like, daggone. Where you at? Special K, where you at, brother? Come on. But I thought they did a decent job. I thought he did a decent job. So I'm not going to hate on the D-line, man. They was doing a good job stopping the run. They was kind of getting on Dak a little bit. Dak had to move around somewhat. They was pushing the pocket. I mean, who was getting there, making him push the pocket some. But yeah, Kalafkis, I did not see him at all. Non-factor.
He almost sacked Dak on that 2-point conversion, but again, lost grip of him like I've seen a million times. He'd be a 30-sack guy a year if he could just finish.
Yeah. So with that being said, man, I think I give the D-line, I give him a C.
Yeah. But one thing, and again, we kind of talked about this during the Colts game. We did the post-game show in our Gray show. It's like, it's one thing to not have sacks, but when you're clearly dominating a team at the line of scrimmage, we saw that in that Colts game. Yeah. We didn't really see it that much in this game. It's like, you're not going to get sacked, sure, but at least still win that war up front. We did it in that Colts game. It didn't seem like the same intensity was there in this game.
Yeah. So yeah, C plus. It was, Marcus. That's when when you try to bring it, and you just see guys fighting, trying to get out of the paper bag. I'm sitting there watching the conference, dang, you got one-on-one. Clough, yo, come on, man, take him up the field, come out underneath something. We did a couple of twists, kind of throw him off a little bit. We just got to be tighter. We got to be tighter in gap integrity in our lanes. If we do run stunts and twists, we got to do our job, man, to make sure that guy loops. You got to loop tight. We got to be able to create those things. Why do other teams do it against us and it works against us? But shoot, sometimes we do it, it doesn't work. So.
Yeah, and at the beginning of that game, that drive we threw the interception, the first quarter too, because we kind of owned that first quarter a little bit. But I saw Jerry Tillery make a play. I was like, oh, okay, we're getting some production from Tillery today. And then after that first quarter, just fell off big time from everything besides 95.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, then our final position group, our linebackers, JD.
LBs. Actually, our LBs played a decent game this game. They played a decent game. Pass breakups, tackles in the backfield, sniffing out the screens. I thought they did a pretty decent job, all of them. I didn't see anything. To me, it was just oh man, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I think they were pretty solid. They're pretty solid. I would say the most solid group on defense this past week. But They just got caught in that crowd, man, where they was at. But for their performance, man, I've given them, the last 2 weeks, Marcus, they've had a C-, C+. I think these guys earned a B this week. Earned a B.
Yeah, I think as far as second half of the season, I've seen more improved play from the linebackers than I have from any other position groups in the defense. Because, I mean, like you saw Tranquil kind of own that Colts game. I saw plays from Leo. I saw plays from Bolton. I saw plays from Drew in this past game from the linebacker group. So, yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. I think the linebackers were the best part of the defensive side of the ball last 2 games, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to finish off with special teams here. And now this is one side of the ball that definitely improved big time from the last few weeks. I mean, low bar, but nonetheless, they still improved.
About time, baby. About time. That's what it has to be. The reason punted the ball really well. They had 2 down on the goal line. They covered really well. Got a few yards in return game, which was good. It's always good to see. Didn't see any penalties, which is a beautiful thing from us because usually they have about 2 or 3 penalties every time. When I see a flag go out on our special teams, I'm like, daggone it, who's holding now?
Yep.
Who is it? I just expected for it to be on us. Seriously. That's how bad it had gotten. But they did a good job. That's what we needed to see. We need to see a much more consistent game, better game from them. But they came up to play this week. And so with that being said, I gave them a B+. A B+.
Yeah, shout out to Ariza for his punt game. I mean, he looked phenomenal this past game.
Looked great. The only one he had that kind of shanked was somebody had an inside move on our wing guy. You know, he's not supposed to get beat on that inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to say who it was, but I know who it is exactly.
But not bad for special teams.
Very positive. Very positive on the special teams this week. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah. And hopefully next week all 3 phases can kind of come together. But yeah, guys, well, that does it for us on this Monday night show. We'll be back here Wednesday to preview this. We've been talking about for the last few weeks, must win. We are officially in must win now mode. So we'll be previewing this game against the Texans. This huge game. It's a Sunday night game too. So Sunday night you'll also be with us post game show after the Sunday night game. So midnight with the crew and the fellas on Sunday as well. So it's going to be an action packed week. It's going to be an interesting week because there's a lot to follow up on the injury reports. There's a lot to hear from Andy Reid and everybody in the practice this week. So it's going to be fun. We're going to be injury report scouting, JD. We're going to be looking at that thing all week long, checking it twice like Santa Claus.
Oh yeah. So Sim McBride, my brethren, said, I'm not going to be popular with the suggestion, but it would make sense to shut our starters down, get any of the project players some reps, and use this time to develop talent. And I tell you what, we can't disagree more than this statement right here. And Sim McBride, the reason I say that is the Chiefs still have a chance. They still have an opportunity. And you never say never. You never say die when you don't need to. We don't need to tank games like other people do and other teams do. That's just not in our DNA. That's not who we are. We're hoping to get into the playoffs. We're pushing to get into the playoffs because we know that we're still a dangerous team. And we done lost all our games by 1 point scores. That tells us all we need to do is just tweak those things just even more, twist the screws on it to get us over the hump. Matter of fact, not just get us over the hump, but also dominate teams by at least 10 points and all those different things. And I think we're close. We are. We're kind of up and down in these things, but the penalties and all those different things, man, have been killing us. Now, with that being said, we still need to address the things that need to be addressed during the off season, but we don't know who's going to be here. See, and that's the thing about it. This is not college. This is not. This is the NFL. And so when they say not for long, we don't know who's going to be here next year. We don't. We don't know if Trav's going to be here. We don't know anything. We don't know if McDuffie's going to be here, which is too expensive. There's a lot of different guys that might be on other teams or go other ways. It's just this nature of the beast. So we got to capture every opportunity while we have it. So this whole doing that, no. And project players had to get Pat hurt. I'm not putting PM15 out there, have him sit. They're not built like that. This ain't the Jets. It's not Atlanta. This is not, some other teams, Arizona, some ones that are our project teams. This is not Tennessee. You know what I mean? This is the daggone Kansas City Chiefs. That's who we are. We've been champions, the AFC champions for the past 7 years going in, wearing everybody out. We're having a rough time with it right now. But guess what? If I had a rough time with any team, it would want to be them. If anybody could kind of right the ship and do that, I'd put it in their hands. And so we're going to let everything play out. We'll let their fate, let them go ahead and try to determine what that thing's going to be. Because I trust those guys in that room. And as bleak as it looked this season, and everybody want to turn on them and let's get a early draft pick like all these other teams. We ain't other teams. We ain't all these other teams. We the standard, baby. We are the standard. People been trying to catch up with us. There's some things we can do differently to get us to where we need to be. But, these young guys got a chance to develop their talent in practice. They do. They can learn a whole lot from this team. And guess what? Imagine if we go ahead and get to the playoffs and finish it out, what these young guys will be able to learn from this about perseverance, about determination, about taking it by storm, that you don't give up. The stuff what the Chiefs are about, man. They're not. So, with that being said, let's stay locked in, okay, for this season. We good. We're good.
Game by game, baby. Game by game.
That's all it's got to be.
It's a 5-week season. We just got to go 5-0 in these 5 weeks. That's it.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
One day at a time, man. We'll be all right.
One day at a time. All right, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will see you guys Wednesday night. We love y'all. And, it's time to lock in and be positive as we head to the Houston Texans. Again, guys, we're losing games. And I know people want to say, almost, all this stuff. We're losing games by one possession. We're not getting blown out. And we're not 2-10. We're 6-6. So, there's too much of this vibe on Twitter. Like, we're this beaten down dog that's has won one game all year this year. We have injuries at our quarterback spot, our tight end spot, receiver spot, all these major positions. No, we have all these guys. And we are 6-6. So, I know we are in must-win territory, but we're not tank territory right now. So
no, we ain't there, man. We don't do that. No. To be honest with you, man, I lose a lot of respect for teams that do that. I wouldn't want to be any part of any organization that does such a thing. It's dishonorable to football, to the guys in the locker room. It's so disrespectful that we're just going to give a season away. Just go ahead and tank it. What? What are we doing here? Now you want me to come in every single day, practice, hit a physical sport like this, and not give it my all? And I know we're trying to take games. Man, hey man, give me my walking papers. I want to go somewhere that somebody wants to win. That's what I want to go. That's what I want to do, Marcus. I want to be around people who care. And somebody who's taking games and stuff like that, man, I'm not with that.
This ain't the organization for that.
No.
This ain't the organization. And also, too, we don't have be one thing, right? And I guess we can say this. God forbid anything were to happen to PM15. But if he were out for an extended period of time, then it would be like, yeah, that would be a situation where like, okay, all right. And maybe not really, because we have Andy Reid and also Travis Kelce too. But like, it's also too, you don't really see tanking a lot in the NFL. You see that in the NBA. You don't really see that in the NFL. So nonetheless.
Unless you suck for a number of years.
Yeah.
Someone like the Browns and the Jets and,
Raiders.
I mean, doing it for, right. Those guys are doing that.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But that's not the conversation we're having right now. We're on to Houston and big time shockwaves. And a lot of people are calling this team one of they are one of the hottest teams in the league, but people are calling this a sleeper to win it all. And I love that all of a sudden people are saying that about them being the Colts. We beat the Colts. It's like, oh, well, Chiefs, the Colts are the Colts. Okay, well, seems like we're going to have to do that on national television on Sunday night this week. So Wednesday we will get you guys prepared for this upcoming game. Then everything you need to know about our opponent and everything you need to know about our injury report heading into Sunday. So, guys, we'll see you Sunday night. We'll see you Wednesday at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. We love y'all. JD closes out, brother.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, ladies and gents. Y'all been a wonderful guest for tonight. Coming in and talking to you all about what the grades look like. I know this game, we'll put it behind us, but we just got to move forward, okay? Move forward with confidence, move forward with understanding that we have a job to do. We need to finish that job. And so that's what we have to do. One game at a time, one play at a time, win one game at a time. I love that. Who's that? Big Dog KC. Appreciate it, my brother. That's a wonderful thing to say. That's exactly what these guys feel. That's who they are. That's how they made. So, other than that, man, all that other stuff, so them other guys in the other locker rooms and stuff like that, it's not the Kansas City Chiefs. This logo right here means something. It's meant something for a long time. And so it means you don't surrender. Not that. You can't be a chief if you're talking about surrendering, Marcus. It's not how it happens. We go to war, baby. We go to war. Oh.
I mean, it's tickle throat season, baby. As Andy Reid said, we're gonna tickle some throats this weekend. So let's start, baby. Let's start.
Let's go. This is what we wanted. We wanted to see it like this. Okay, not everybody sit back and enjoy. Grab you some popcorn, okay, and some hot chocolate, because we're gonna be out there cooking, baby. Tickle your throat season. Yeah.
Let's get it, baby.
There we go. All right. So with that being said, man, at 4KC Forever, Christopher Kelly, appreciate you. Gail Whiting, DJ Jazzy, Michael Kittle, Big Dog KC, the Joe, Linda Hunter, Gary Holland, DJ Jazzy, Andre Chenault, Chiefs from SoCal, Gary Holler, I'm the Brown. Who else we got here, man? Deshaun Hammons, appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you, as always. Demetrio Spence. Sasha is in here. What names all that look different? Is it me or is that?
No, they're showing handles now, not the name. They're showing your handle. So whatever your @ sign is, that's what they're showing now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, XM McBride. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, what's going down? I wonder why they doing that.
I have no idea. YouTube changes their stuff every other week.
Oh shoot. YouTube. What y'all on now, man? What's going down? Some wild and weird things going on out here in the world, Marcus. It's craziness.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
Never. Yeah, that's for daggone sure. Let's see who else we got out here, man. Thank you all for the contribution too. For everybody who sit there in, Cordell Robinson. I think I'm the Brown gave it in here. How do I forget my brother DeMonte Green Beans? Janae Raines was in here in the house. Perry Gilmore. Baca was in here as well. Will. Trying to think who else was here. The Barbershop. Yep, seen him. Bird Banger, 1974. I ain't never heard that name before. Might have been in here. Who was the one guy that's always saying, man, Witchy Hall, Witchy was in here. JD, I'm always in here. You always say you don't know who I am. I'm like, I know it's a lot of good things to come through, man. And I was Digger 428.
That's Michael Brennan.
Oh, Mike. Okay. Wow. Okay. Optimistic James is here. No name. What else I just seen? Accelerator was here. I know I said on the Brown, didn't it? Trade 227. G Pick in the building. As always, appreciate you, G Pick. Thank you. Ty Diggy. Chiefs Forever, 1187. Bach, appreciate that. Like I said before, for that. I think it's about it, Marcus. Shoot, I think it's everybody, man. Listen, hey, look, if I didn't get to say your name, Sweetie was on here. Thank you, Sweetie. I'll see you in a second.
Wise words.
Yeah, wise words from old coach Susan. Hero Dunn. Wise word. Justin Blackwell, Ginger Girl, Fred here in the house. Hey, look, like I said, if I can get to say your name, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Love each other the way you're supposed to. I hope y'all loved each other, your family and friends, especially this Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. Let's continue that thankfulness going forward. We're thankful for each and every one of you girls and gals and guys out here. Marcus, my brother, love you. I will see you on Wednesday. Y'all take care. We will holler at y'all then. Y'all be safe. We're going to get some snow here in Kentucky, so y'all getting some of that flurries or whatever. Y'all be careful that way.
Be careful, everybody.
Yes, sir. Take care. God bless. We'll see y'all later. Y'all be good.
Love y'all.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.